Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming on this wonderful, cold afternoon to celebrate the last event of the sesquicentennial of the town of Smithtown. I know some of you are wondering about that. The sesquicentennial year was 2015, and here we are 3 months into 2016, and still celebrating a sesquicentennial event. Actually, what we're commemorating is the whole year, 2015, and we're burying a lot of the objects from that year and the celebration that year in our time capsule, which is already in the hole over here at the base of the flagpole. We will be dealing with that in a minute. Now, I know some of you are wondering whether I looked at the calendar lately. It is March of 2016. All I can say to you about that is thank God it's not snowing. Because it seems every time we had an event for the 2015 year, we had some miserable weather, and inevitably it snowed. So I think we lucked out today, although you may be freezing by the end of it. The 350th Committee chose this date to begin the celebration of Smithtown's sesquicentennial back in 2015, same day, March 3rd, 2015. Here we are at March 3rd, 2016. So what we're actually celebrating is the end of the sesquicentennial year on this date. And the reason the date is significant, March 3rd, 1665, is that date that Richard Nichols signed the patent that he granted to Richard Smith for the Nessequake lands, and it's shortly after he received that patent that he moved onto those lands and established his home and what became Smithtown, and eventually Smithtown itself. So that date is really the founding of the town of Smithtown. I want to begin our closing ceremony by having the Boy Scout Troop number 3, one of the oldest Boy Scout troops in America, raise the flag and lead us in a pledge of allegiance. Please stand. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, and we thank the Troop 3 for participating this afternoon and helping us out. So thank you, gentlemen. I would now like to call upon Supervisor Patrick R. Vecchio, the man who has led our town for the past 38 years, and the man who helped make Smithtown's 350th anniversary the unforgettable, spectacular year that it was. Supervisor Patrick Vecchio.
Thank you very much, Bradley, and thank you all for coming. We owe a great deal of thanks to Bradley Harris, the town historian, who put together a committee, who then inspired all those lovely events we had throughout the year. It made that centennial 350th anniversary a really wonderful year for all of our residents. I have a proclamation which I will read, and I will ask the town council members to share reading of it with me. There were some interesting facts in there. I've also brought a reference in the proclamation. It's a permit for solar panels that the town of Smithtown issues. You think they would hear of solar panels 50 years from now? I wonder. So that will go into the capsule. I brought a cell phone. Our egos are great. I brought a photo of the dedication of Town Hall with all the participants and their names on the back, which was really the last event of the year, and so that will go in with the proclamation. So I will begin now by reading the proclamation, turn over some of the paragraphs to the council people here. Whereas in 1965 there were 89,000 residents, 250 miles of road, 23,000 single-family housing units within the town. And whereas in 1965 there were no senior housing facilities, no environmental initiatives, and garbage was placed in a hole in the ground. Whereas 50 years later, in 2015, Smithtown now has 470 miles of road, a population of 118,000, and 35,000 single-family residences, and 1,491 senior housing units, and solid waste now goes into the state-of-the-art incineration.
Whereas town historian Bradley Harris created the 350 Foundation to plan celebratory events as we celebrate Smithtown's 350th anniversary. The foundation drew members from all the hamlets of our town, and the foundation planned a year-long series of celebratory events that were inclusive, informative, and reflective of our citizenry and highlighted Smithtown's rich history, beginning with a Bill Smith relay commemorating the legendary Bill Smith Ride. And
whereas the foundation teamed up with the Smithtown Library and our religious institutions, acknowledging our cultural diversity. The foundation also combined past history with future history by scheduling events that included our young people. And whereas residents participated in a 350 pool party, the largest fireworks display in Smithtown's history, and a parade that had thousands of participants and spectators.
In what was one of the snowiest years ever recorded, our community came together in a blizzard to attend an oversold 350th anniversary gala. And whereas the town of Smithtown Town Hall was dedicated, and a statue of Richard Bull Smith was dedicated, and we completed our events with a tribute to men and women who served in the U.S. military.
And whereas we came together in a celebration to honor those who came before us and to acknowledge their role in creating this wonderful town we call Smithtown. And today, as we close our 350th celebration, we bury a time capsule to be opened in 2065. Whereas I, Patrick Vecchio, Town Council members Thomas McCarthy, Edward Wareheim, Lynn C. Nowick, and Lisa Emmons will leave you a town that is the envy of others, that is financially and fiscally sound, with an infrastructure in great repair, and we finally hope that you will be good stewards into the future as you write Smithtown's next chapter. In witness whereof I have sent my hand, we've signed it, put a gold seal on it, but they'll find out that it really isn't gold.
None of the 350th anniversary celebrations would have been possible without the active support of Patrick R. Vecchio, who was an honorary member of our committee and helped us with the programs we sponsored by being an enthusiastic participant throughout our sesquicentennial celebration. We all owe Supervisor Vecchio thanks for helping make the Smithtown's 350th anniversary the unforgettable, spectacular year that it was. So I thank you, Mr. Vecchio. Smithtown's planning director to come up and talk about the future of Smithtown.
Planners normally don't think out 50 years. It's very difficult to plan that far ahead, and usually we're wrong. We usually think about 10 to 20 years. But I've thought about it every day since that time about what will Smithtown be like 50 years from now. And I think I have probably the right answers. Number one is it's bound to be different. Change happens regardless of what we want or don't want. Change will happen. But it will probably happen slowly. It won't be like 1954 for 10 years, where in that 10-year period the town changed from basically a rural town to a suburban town. I don't think there will be anything that dramatic that would change it from a suburban town to an urban town. The changes will be in details. Probably there might be some sort of a road diet or something like that to make this town more sustainable, or different kinds of drainage or whatever. A lot of details will happen, and they'll add up over the next 50 years to where this town is different from where it is today. There probably will not be any major changes in terms of like a new highway, a new expressway, or a bridge to Connecticut, or anything that dramatic. It'll be all the little stuff. The devil is in the details. Probably in the most abstract point of view, though, is the town will still be suburban. It'll still be desirable. It'll still be an appealing place. I don't know if that's few enough words. He said keep it short. Thank you.
Today, our thankful community commits to the earth a modest time capsule that commemorates the birth of our noble town founded by Richard Smith, a man most resolute and practical, much more than a myth.
Undeterred by the obstacles faced, Smith quickly filled lands that Indians once embraced. With kin and settlers seeking to plant farms and dreams, these newcomers took advantage of rich forests and streams.
In this pastoral setting, Smith's vision quickly took root, and soon emerged the spirit that was freedom's pursuit. Seeking to end a tyrant's control that was cruel and unfair, Smith's descendants endured hardships that may have left lesser men in despair.
Quite naturally, the people of Smithtown began to understand that it was iniquitous to deny freedom to any man. So early on, the stain of slavery from our town was erased, and the march towards equality began at a slow pace.
Onward the town grew from agriculture to trade and achieved modernity as incremental steps were made. Lumber and grist mills and deafening freight trains made it possible for Smithtowners to enjoy economic gains.
Southward and westward out our town did expand, providing opportunity for citizens from distant cities and lands. Hauppauge, Nesconset, Kings Park, St. James, and Comac, all part of Smithtown, invited these folks, never turning them back.
Never free from the influences and concerns of the nation at large, drawn into war, the brave once from Smithtown did charge. Slipping from the comfort of home to preserve what they loved best, too many young people prematurely laid to rest.
The post-war fervor came modern. With the post-war fervor came modern settlers from lands to the west, who were drawn by the verdant landscape that for raising families was best. They sought to enjoy a life that Richard Smith could not have foreseen, and today continue to follow that long-ago dream.
Yes, we the beneficiaries of Smith's vision can with great certainty say that his determination, hopes, and resolve live on today. So concluding our celebration of 350 years, we, like Smith, must put aside our present fears. We should be confident that our town is one of which to be proud, as evidenced by this time capsule that we humbly place in the ground.
Thank you very much, Maureen.